With Godzilla just 7 days away, it is time to look into Godzilla Aftershock. What's up, YouTubers of the world? Mega Geek Mixer here, ready to give you guys my thoughts on Godzilla Aftershock. This is a prequel to the Godzilla King of the Monsters film, coming out just in a week now, and man, I can't wait for it. Like I said before, my #1 movie to see, but let's take into this. Now I got this 2 days ago, and I've already read it, and I liked it. It was great, but just so you guys know, this is really more like an epilogue to Godzilla 2014. What happened in Godzilla 2014? This is a little epilogue to it, because the events that take place in here are like a few months or so after the incident in San Francisco, which is referenced to us in here as a little note saying about what happened in Godzilla 2014. But still, what we got here also answered a few questions for us when we saw the beginning of Godzilla 2014, and that was in the fact of the Philippines, where they found a big bones, and then they found an egg, and then they found the destruction of the male Mutos as it was traveling to Japan. Well, if you guys are wondering what all that is, let's not waste time. Let's go right in and let me show you exactly what happened. But for the first off thing, we'll show you guys this guy right here. His name is Alan Jonah. He's confirmed to be the main human antagonist. I was almost about to say protagonist there, but I mean antagonist. And yeah, if you guys have read a little bit about his bio, you know what he's after here, and it shows a little hint right here, and the fact that he's after the doctor named let me go to her. Come on. Ah, here she is. Yeah, the doctor Emma Russell. Yeah, And while I also know what he wants her for, I'm not gonna reveal it, because no doubt some people like me are trying to stay as spoiler free as possible, not knowing exactly all of what the plot is going on in this film, so that way we can be more surprised as we're going to see it. But all you guys just need to know is he's after Emma Russell. I know why he's after her, but I'm not going to reveal it to any of you guys in case y'all want to stay spoiler free as possible. But while he's been captured, a monster has attacked, and that monster and Godzilla ends up showing up to attack that monster himself. But it don't take that monster long to just pack it up and leave, and making Godzilla leave too. Well, after that destruction, here comes Dr. Emma, who has been informed about what's going on, and she is also met by Dr. Serizawa, along with another guy named Miles. Let's see. Yeah, here he is. This guy, Miles. Yeah, Miles Etherion. He's the San Francisco Commission who actually saw that incident. It turns out Emma, along with her husband, was also part of that incident. They were in San Francisco too, where they lost a daughter, and yeah, so she was very close to the whole incident there. And this is where that Miles guy confronts her and Monarch about their whole situation, about how they were always staying in the shadows, how they never warned anybody. And Emma's just being like, as scientists, we keep to the shadows about some things that could cause mass panics and everything. And truth be told, I would be on her side. I mean, come on. How do you think people would react knowing that this Earth was owned by monsters? Monsters are living under us. I bet there'd be a mass panic everywhere around. So yeah, good on her to stay on top of that. And with the fact that Alan Jonah guy is after her, she's got a bodyguard named Turkin here. This guy right here, Turkin, yeah. Well, let's just say that this guy, you don't be careful with this guy. He's obviously got some skills, because let's just say the way he ended up helping to make sure to protect Emma, and to make sure Alan never got to her. We're gonna go over to what I'm about to steal here. So as they're journeying along, trying to follow that monster that Godzilla attacked, they go to a few places until they eventually run into a place where it looks like Alan Jonah got the jump on him, but nope. Turkin had the jump on him, mostly because he was using Emma as bait. This guy's got some crafty ways of doing things, but hey, get the job done, good on you. But with that being said, I just want to put that out there on that human plot of things. And now we're going to go into the monster plot of it all. So it turns out that this monster that we saw that Godzilla attacked, first off, they find answers over in Kyushu, Japan, where a shrine is held and it is there that they find out about they find a huge crater where the monster has actually been in, and Emma along with Turkin, come on, go under there, and they ended up meeting up with that thing. They better be lucky they were able to get out of there alive. And because, yeah, here's the thing. Turkin was going to say, we need to get out of here, but Emma was like, no, we got to keep moving. I admire that woman's determination as a scientist, but come on, let's use our heads here. If you're a scientist, you'd be level-headed here. Come on. But it turns out that in Japan, in this shrine of Japan, it turns out they run into the fact that this creature is known as what would they call it? Jinshin Munshin. Let me try to find the word for that, because yeah, I saw it here. I'm being ridiculous, aren't I? Just going through all this, but hey, what can I do? I'm just trying to learn some things here. Here we go. Yeah, it's called Jinshin Namazu. Yeah, Jinshin Namazu. That's what they're calling that creature. Look, this creature right here. And yeah, not only that, but they are also talking about something called Dagon, that, or as they like to look at it, as Raijin. Yeah, Raijin. And why is all that being said? Well, that's because, like, during as the course you go through this book here, you're introduced to stone tablets that are in Japan. But the funny thing is, they're not from. They may be in Japan, but they weren't carved by Japan. They were carved by people called Phoenicians. Yeah, Phoenicians. And it turns out, like, there was an ancestor of Godzilla's. Now, they were always talking about that there being more than one species of Godzilla in the monsterverse. And, well, this confirms it right here. There was another one back in the old day. And it turns out that that creature also existed back then, too. And they had an encounter. And this is where it gets into all the answers we needed about what happened that started everything in Godzilla 2014, and that is in the fact that long ago this attacked Godzilla. Yeah, it attacked that Godzilla species, and it injected him with parasites, with eggs inside of its body. And when it did that, the Godzilla would retreat out somewhere else. It would retreat over into the Philippines, where eggs were laid, and those eggs turned it out to be the Mudos that we saw in 2014, the male and the female. 2 eggs were injected into this ancient Godzilla, and it died before the eggs would hatch. And now what's happening is that Mudos creature that they're calling Mudo Prime, it was like an early ancestor, like a mother ancestor to the 2 Mudos back in Godzilla 2014. So it is because of this creature that we got the Mudos in the first place, because it turns out that the bones we saw in Godzilla 2014 were the bones of the ancestral Godzilla. How about that, guys? How about that? Now that's something. But right now, you're probably wondering, what about what's going on in the current events? Well, current event-wise, the Godzilla we have now, which, by the way, not the same Godzilla, a different Godzilla. It's trying to, it continues to follow and stop that thing, but it always keeps running away from it. That's until That's until it finally gets a chance to attack, to like get Godzilla in a good spot, to where it brings out its tentacles, which if you look closely at these tentacles, they can kind of remind you of Rayquaza's tentacles when he mega evolves. Well, it turns out these tentacles here are what were used to inject parasites into the Godzilla from the past, and that's exactly what this Muto Prime is trying to do. It's trying to inject eggs into Godzilla, which it does. And this is where the scientists start to get into what it is this Muto's trying to do. It was trying to do what those Mutos from 2014 was trying to do. She creates a male and a female so that way they can reproduce. And once they reproduce, it turns out the female will kill the mate, so that way it can be able to reproduce, but not just make babies, but also make babies that can change the economic environment. In other words, like they are trying to become the new living creatures of the earth. In other words, destroy humanity so they can be the new living species. Well, with the scientists learning that, they decide they need to stop it, and the way they need to stop it is by causing a sonic pulse, which is what started this whole thing with the Mutos in 2014. A sonic pulse would happen, and then they hatched from outside of Godzilla, and Godzilla died. And I'm talking about the ancestral Godzilla, not the current Godzilla. The current Godzilla, let me go to it. Yeah, here we go. The current Godzilla is currently in the same situation that its ancestor was in, but the humans are going to try to save him by making sure that sonic pulse, when the sonic pulse happens, those eggs don't hatch and Godzilla won't die. And when they try it at first, though, it doesn't work out so well. Yeah, it doesn't work out so well because they try it at first, but it gets very aggressive when they try to do it. Mostly because when they tried to use that on the Muto Prime, they did it the wrong way. Since Godzilla is Pacifian, and in the water, they learned that they had to use it underwater, so that way it'll be more effective. But before they could do that, they had to get through the United Nations, who saw that the idea didn't work, so they're having doubts about him, and then they're like saying, well, do what Dr. Serizawa said to do in Godzilla 2014, let them fight. What they don't realize is that Godzilla will die, because it turns out the Muto was doing this to call Godzilla. It was luring Godzilla into a trap, so it can inject its parasite eggs into it. And since the Security Council is not going to listen, they decide they're just going to have to do this the hard way, to where the Miles, that guy I was telling you guys about here earlier, this guy right here, so like he was journeying with Emma all throughout as they were journeying and tracking the Muto Prime. And while he doesn't necessarily say he's like fond of Emma or trust her or like her, with all that's been shown here, shows that he knows that they're the best chance they have of helping Godzilla along with stopping this Muto Prime from wiping out everyone in humanity. So he decides to help them out with him getting something from Emma that she made as a prototype, as a sonic pulse. But he would have to steal it, because since the United Nations won't give him permission to do what they're trying to do, he decided I'll just have to steal it. Good on him, though, man. Good on him, because eventually he does, and they were able to get to it just in time, because Godzilla and the Muto Prime were fighting, and it looked like the Muto Prime was about to finally get what she wanted. Kill Godzilla, and once again do what she tried to do in 2014, and this time Godzilla wouldn't be there to stop her. But luckily, with the device, and yeah, this is the device, and like Tarkin, I would probably have been like, are you sure this is going to work? Because appearance-wise, but she said it herself, it's a prototype. But even so, appearance-wise, it doesn't look like this thing will work. But it works, and Godzilla's already all better now. The Mutos inside of him won't be hatching, and he just decides to tear up the Muto Prime and destroy her. And that is how it all ends. And that is how it all ends. And once again, just like always, when Godzilla wins, big giant roar from this guy. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Who don't love that? And now this, and then after that, there's just talk about what's going to be coming as time rolls on. And that's really Emma saying how, like, you're gonna be seeing things, a lot of crazy things as you're getting older and stuff. And that's pretty much all that it is. Like I said, guys, this is more of an epilogue to what happened in Godzilla 2014. It was still great. I loved it. This book was awesome. It gave us a little closure to some of the plot holes that were left in 2014 of Godzilla. So I'm very happy with it. Definitely great. I would suggest you guys, if you don't want to buy it, if you find it at maybe your local bookstore like Barnes & Nobles or somewhere, I say take some time to read it so you can see it all yourself. If you want some plot holes that were left in Godzilla 2014 solved for you, then definitely get this book. But I would also get it since, like I say, prequel to Godzilla King of the Monsters. So yeah, either way, guys, definitely love this book. I definitely recommend getting it just to see what you can get out of it. Answers and closure answers from Godzilla 2014, and just because it said prequel to King of the Monsters. Why did I just say what I just repeated? I don't know. I'm going nuts. But either way, guys, if you're enjoying my videos, all you gotta do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified when I make more videos. Until then, Mega Geek Mixer signing out. Bye!